Today we're checking out a budget cleaner by a company called Aiper. It's called the Scuba SE. It's really made for an above ground pool or a pool with a flat bottom. I obviously don't have a rather small pool with a flat bottom. I have a medium-sized pool with a slope bottom. We're going to put it in here anyway because I want to see how it does. I have had other pool cleaners that were made for flat bottom pools that actually cleaned the bottom of this pool pretty well. So we're going to see how Aiper does with that. Right off the bat, initially, just before I even use it, I'm going to point out a couple things. It doesn't have a whole lot of frills. This is basically turn on, put in your pool, and let it go. That's a good thing for a lot of people. A lot of people don't really want to mess with all the variables. I kind of actually like that about it because you don't have to really worry about what setting you're on or anything like that. I do want to point out that the charging port here is exposed. It's not covered up in any way. And, well, I know those probes are probably meant to not corrode even if they get wet. We all kind of understand that if something sits in water long enough, that's probably not going to be true. We're probably going to be looking at corroded probes in a matter of time. Don't know how long that'll take. Could take years, could take months. But if you have a saltwater pool and you're using something with exposed metal like that, it's probably going to end up seeing a little rust or corrosion at some point. So just wanted to point that out. I don't know why they wouldn't put a plug in that, but they didn't. So that's something I see right off the bat. Other than that, though, seems a pretty simple design. You just press this button, turn it on, and drop it in. And actually, right now, what you're seeing is it climb the slope. To its credit, it is climbing the slope that it's not supposed to be able to climb. It made it up the slope. I put it in the deep end, as you saw, and it's climbing up the slope. So kudos to Aiper for underselling this item because it wasn't supposed to be able to do that. My pool is not super dirty, but I do have some debris in the bottom of it, mainly a few pine needles, things like that. So we'll just let this thing run and see how it ends up. No, I expect it to get stuck on that, to be honest. I don't expect it to be able to do anything with that whatsoever. It did back itself off. That's pretty impressive because I've had plenty of other pool cleaners to get stuck on those drains. I've seen many pool cleaners get stuck on these drains. The fact that this one didn't, that's pretty impressive. So far, so good. I'm just going to leave it in the pool for a couple hours, let it run its course, let it do everything that it can do, and then we'll come back and we'll see what we come up with at the end. We'll see what it picked up. I've seen a bunch of budget option cleaners. Well, I definitely wouldn't say that this has outperformed the best of them. It's certainly performing to the same standards as the best ones I've seen. And just taking a look at the pool, it looks pretty clean down here at least. On this end for sure, it looks clean. There's a couple of pine needles that are still in there, but to be fair, it's hard to tell whether those dropped since the pool cleaner stopped or if they were in there and just missed. I really can't say that they were missed because honestly, like I said, I get a lot of pine needles. My whole backyard is pine needles basically, so those could have absolutely dropped in since the pool cleaner has already stopped. There's a few more of them up here. The pool cleaner, just to show you though, did climb the slope because we put it in this end and it ended up parking itself on this end. Now let's go ahead and fish it out and see what we ended up with inside the pool cleaner. It certainly got some stuff. I mean, there's no doubt that it picked up a lot of stuff because my pool wasn't that dirty to begin with, and you can see that this has quite a bit of debris in the bottom. So yeah, I mean, I would honestly say just for the fact that it navigated my pool at all with a slope, it's overperforming what it says it is supposed to do.